paused. Now we okay. Now let's take another breath in. We're just taking some time to breathe, coordinate our movements with our breath. All right. So welcome everyone to class. If you think there's anything that we do today that might be beyond your capabilities, then modify the pose so that it fits with your needs. If you think that there's anything a doctor would advise against, just don't do it. And then we'll enjoy an hour and a half chair class together. Okay, let's breathe in again and reach up. Centering, focusing our mind on our breath. Exhale, let's bring the hand to the heart center. Breathe in and stretch upwards as we reach the arms above the head just as far as they comfortably go. Exhaling out and down. We're going to do a little series. So we're going to bring our right arm across and reach the left arm out towards the back. So we get a nice little twist in the lower part of the body most of all. Breathe here. And then back to the center. Take the left arm to the outside of the right knee. Reach the right arm around. And take nice big breaths through the nose as much as you can. Closing off a little bit at the throat where the vocal cords are so that you can make ujjayi breath sounds. Come back to the start. That'll help us keep track of our breath. Now we're going to breathe in again and lift. Bring the arms to the sides, hold on to the chair or your knees and just lean forwards from the hips. Bringing the chest closer to the chair or to your lap. Down towards your lap. Breathe in, come back up. And then another breath in, reach up. Palms together to the heart center. Stretch the spine upwards, the rib cage out. Exhale, arms to the sides. Take the right arm across again. Another twist to the left side. And breathe here. Just go as far as it's comfortable. And if it gets really comfortable and you want to try going a little farther, then you can. Then back to the center, switch left hand to right knee, right arm around, breathe in. Each time you breathe in, lift and fully inflate the lungs. Each time you exhale, you can draw inward around the belly button area and back to the start. Let's place our hands on our knees now and go around. Nice little circles. So we're taking our rib cage, our upper body, our shoulders, all of that is moving in a circle around our center line. And then we'll reverse. Let's go as small or as large as it feels right for you today. Enjoy the process. And then back to the center. Now take the arms up again, breathe in. Hands to the heart center. Listening to the breath, breathe in. Arms out to the sides and down. Place the hands on the chair or the knees and come forwards again. Lean from the hips, keeping the back straight. And then breathe in and come back up. Let's grab onto our right knee and bring the right knee up and closer to the chest. And breathe here. Keep the shoulders nice and down and back. And the head lifting upwards. And then we'll release the right knee. Reach for the left knee. Bring it up towards the chest. Breathe. And then down. Okay, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. Nice big shoulder rolls forward, up and back. And bring the shoulders in towards the neck so that we really get a loosening up of the muscles in the lower part of the neck too. And then reverse. We'll do each way twice. So just 4 or 5 times each way. And then reverse again. And reverse again. And then shake the arms out at the sides. And then sit back a little bit. We're going to work our feet a little, and our arms are going to be out in front. So just like when we lie on our back sometimes, we're going to flex and point. So that here, you can have the heel on the ground if you need that. Otherwise, lift the feet slightly off the floor. If you need extra challenge, you can bring your feet up even a little higher. So loosening the wrists and the ankles mostly. And now let's flex the hands and feet, spread the toes out, spread the fingers out. And then point them forwards. Then flex them again. And forwards. And circles. So if it gets to be too much to keep the feet off the ground, you can put the heels down. And now reverse. So y'all look great. Lots of action in this one. And then reverse again. And then again. And then place the feet and hands on the floor. Now let's take our right arm up and lay the forearm on top of the head. We're going to do a little neck stretch. Reach up with the head. Then tilt the head towards the sides. We're not clutching onto the head, but just resting the arm a little. Then bring the other hand up and draw that shoulder down low. There we actually do kind of pull down on the shoulder as long as it's comfortable. With the arm up on top, it's just a little added weight if you want it. Listen to your nice Ujjayi breath. And we'll release that side and head for the other side. So the left arm comes up, lays on top, reach up for the head. That way we make some room between the vertebrae and then tip to the side. We always want to be elongating the spine. And bring the other hand up and draw that shoulder down. So we get a nice stretch running not just down the neck, but also out into the shoulder. By drawing it downward a little bit. And then back up. We're going to hold on to our chair again. Take the feet out in front. And we're going to lift one foot and then the other. Alternate lifting. We need to tighten up our abs for this. So we have our the side muscles and the ones right in front, and they're all working. A few more times. And then place the feet on the floor. We're going to take the right foot to the side and back. Left foot and back. Right and back. Left and back. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Abs still in. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. left and together. And then just pat the feet, and have the feet go up and down, up and down. And bring the legs in. Now we're going to turn our head from side to side. So this is to help us avoid vertigo. Just look to one side, then the other. Switching. 4, it's supposed to be somewhere around 15 times. So we usually do 16. And then back to the center, and now up and down. And we don't have to reach our farthest up or down. It's not a range of motion, but it is a motion. That's supposed to help our inner ear. And then we'll bring our head to the center. And now we're going to do a range of motion to the side. Turn towards the right and just hold your head in place at a point where you feel a little bit of an edge, so you're going about your farthest. And then just wait and let the body get used to that. And then if it feels really good and you want to try going a tiny bit farther, then you can test your range of motion. And then we'll come back to the center and then slowly move to the other side and breathe. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch, and if you want to take it a tiny bit more, as long as it's comfortable, you can try that. And then back to the center. Let's take another breath in with our arms reaching up. Bring the palms together, so even if the elbows are bent, that's fine. And then on the exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. We'll do kind of a combination of a bellows and an isometric press. So bellows in, so inflate the lungs. On the exhale, we're going to press our hands together, isometrically working the muscles in the arms, chest, and back. Breathe in, inflate the lungs. Exhale, press the palms. Inhale. Exhale, press. Inhale. Exhale, press. Hands down. Let's hold on to the chair seat again. We're going to take our feet out in front. Lift the feet up and then swoop them to one side and then out in front. Swoop to the other side, out in front, and continue that. Swoop. Because when we swoop to the side, we're going to hold that for a second. And that's working some of those muscles in the buttocks, the sides. And the swooping motion, of course, the outside of the legs, especially in the thighs. So we're doing a lot here. So good work, everyone. Couple more times each side. Out in front and then down. Nice. So now we're going to take a little time to reach up and do a side stretch. So on the exhale, bring the right arm down and reach to the side. Nice curve. Breathe in as you lift the switch to the other side. On the exhale, lean to the other side. And then come back up, switch. Big inhale. Exhale, lean. Breathe in, come up and switch. Exhale, lean. Inhale, come up and switch. We'll do two more. Lean. And reaching with that hand, spread the fingers. Inhale, come up and switch. Last one. Stretch the fingers out and lean to the side. And come back up. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to take our arms to our sides and bend at the elbows. Let's spread our fingers out. So we stretch the hands. Then we're going to make fists and show off our biceps. So squeeze the muscles here in the arm. Squeeze. Now you can also feel this across your chest. So you're building nice pectoral muscles too. Relax. Spread those fingers out as you breathe in. And then when you exhale again, make fists. Squeeze the biceps, maybe even turn the fist toward you. And then inhale, spread the fingers out. And then bring them down. Okay, so now we're going to sit up again, have our feet out in front. We're going to lift our feet off the floor. Take them out to the sides of the mat and then cross, out, and cross. So we have our abs in. We're using the inner thigh muscles when we cross. We'll do a couple more slow and then we'll do them fast. And now let's do quick ones. Cross, 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 cross. And then bring the feet together, place the feet on the floor. Okay, let's press up into chair. So from our chair, it looks like this, about. Keeping the hips back. And it's nice if you can still see the toes. That means your knees aren't very far forward, which is good. And then come up. Breathe in, reach. Arms to the sides. Step the feet a little bit apart. Bend the knees a bit. And we're going to take our hips around in circles. So you can make nice little circles at first or slow ones. And then you can increase it as you like. And then we'll reverse those circles. And then we're going to bend the knees, stretch up, reach upwards, stretching through the spine. And then arms to the sides, bend the knees, and let's take a seat again. Okay. From here, we're going to take our arms up and out to the sides and make some circles. And keep going with those circles, just adjusting some of the lighting. Okay. And reverse. And then we're going to bring our arms down. All right, so now we're going to stretch one arm at a time. Well, actually the shoulder. Take one arm up. I have my right arm, and then we're going to bend at the elbow. And here you have a choice. You can reach the left hand up to try to join the hands, Or you can bring your left hand up to help guide the elbow around so that you can, one, get a better stretch in the shoulder, and two, make sure the head has room to stay above the body. So our hand of the right hand is reaching either across to the other shoulder or reaching down the back. And just focus on the breath. Then we'll reach our arms up. Stretch up as you breathe in. Exhale, switch the arms. So the other elbow's bent now, and you have maybe the right hand, the left elbow's bent, right hand guiding, head above the body. If you've reached behind, that's fine. You're just trying to get the fingers to touch, or maybe they can hook together. So if you're not there to be able to touch, it's probably best to do the one on top and breathe. And then release. Okay, so now let's shake our arms. For a little bit of a challenge, we're going to do our eagle. And that's a good way to stretch all the little tiny muscles in the upper back. So sitting up maybe a little farther forward in the chair, cross the right leg over the left. And see if you can bring the right foot close to the ankle, maybe even wrap around the ankle a little bit with the foot. So you want the feet close together. If it wraps around, that's actually easier in the long run. Then we're going to take our left arm out in front and wrap our right arm under, and then bring the hands together. So there's the top part of our eagle. Now we want to have our spine straight all the way down. So if your back is curved, see if you could tip forward with the pelvic floor and have the arms start going upwards a little if it's comfortable. So if we keep the arms low, that's fine. That might already be plenty of stretch for you. And if you want more challenge, then lift the arms higher, as long as it feels comfortable to you. And then we'll let our eagle come down. Unwrap the arms, shake them out a bit, unwrap the legs, pound the feet a little, just keep things loosened up. And then we'll go into the other side eagle. So left leg over, bring foot to the ankle or wrap the foot around. Then stretch the right arm out, and we're going to wrap our left arm under. And then bend at the elbows and try to bring those hands together, or at least maybe a little bit of touching of the fingertips to the palms, whatever you can do there. And then, just like before, sit up nice and tall, back straight as low as you can get it. And then start lifting the hands up. So from the side again, it looks like this. Nice breathing. So listening to our breath helps us remove all the other cluttering thoughts that might be racing around in our minds. We want to just focus on the breath and stay in the present moment. Then we'll lower the arms, unwrap them, unwrap the legs. And let's make some big movements with our arms. So scooch over to the right part of your chair and make big circles with the right arm. I'm going forward first, back and around, like a backstroke, swimming. Listening to the breath. One more time around Then we'll go forwards. And I like to spread my fingers here, even though when we swim, we don't actually do that, just to keep the blood flowing into the hands and stretching the muscles. One more time around and bring the hand back. Nice. Now hold onto the chair, scoot over to the left side. We're going to go around the backstroke. You can kind of swivel the body to that side every time so you get some more work throughout the spine. Nice twisting. Nice reaching with the hands, spreading the fingers. Let's do one more going back, and then switch, and do a bunch forwards. Go at your own pace. You can always modify the poses to go with your own breath better, or maybe you have a past injury or a current injury, whatever the reason, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's comfortable to you. You can modify the poses or back out of the poses to make them a bit easier. Let's bring our arm down. So the main thing is, it's your yoga practice. Let's come back to the middle. So you want to do what's right for your body, which means listening to your own body. Okay, so we have our hands on the knees again. Let's go ahead and this time cross at the ankle and flex the foot. Cross at the ankle, flex the foot. That's probably a lot of stretch for most of us. It is for me. So sit up nice and tall. For those of you who want extra challenge, you can very gently bend forward, hinging at the hips. So we'll turn to the side just so you see where I need. So right here, my back is straight up so that my head is reaching for the ceiling. If I were able to bend forward a lot, I would just be tipping forward from the hips. So then my upper body is at an angle forwards. So that's for those of you who want extra challenge. For most of us, we have plenty of challenge right here, straight up with the back. So listen to the breath. Foot is still flexed on top. And then we're going to release the leg. Right, and then we'll cross with the other ones. Now my left ankle's up on top, my foot is flexed, and I start straightening the back, which means tipping the pelvic floor down and back so that the lower back can straighten. And then drawing the shoulder blades together so the shoulders go back and down. We might as well work on all the different parts of our posture. Reaching upwards to the crown of the head. If you want extra challenge, tip forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping the back straight all the way to the base of the spine. And then we'll come up, bring the foot down, pad the feet a little bit because we're going to do some more with our legs now. We're going to do a forward fold with the legs wide, which means we'll be stretching in the inner thighs, maybe the groin area. So we want to be real careful doing that. We don't want to overstretch any of the muscles at the very part where they meet the joint. Let's take our right shoulder. First, lift and breathe in, expanding through the lungs. And then tip that right shoulder forwards. You can even press lightly on the inner thigh and knee so that you can get a little more of a groin stretch if you want. Now look down at the arches of the feet. Are there still arches? If not, see if you can build the arch in the foot. Listen to the breath. On the next inhale, slowly rise up. Let's take a breath in, arms up and over. Bring the arms to the knees again. Breathe in just here with the hands on the legs. On the exhale, bring the left shoulder forwards and down. So you're reaching out from the hips and downward. Out, forwards, and downward. And just let the stretch happen. So be on this side of your maximum. So take your time. Next inhale. Slowly come up. Now we'll do one more round of those, but first we're going to concentrate on our feet. So I'm going to make sure my feet are in the camera. Yes. So my feet are out at a 45-degree angle because my legs are out at a 45-degree angle. So I want us to try to have our knees and our toes going in the same direction. That way we don't torque the knees. Now we're going to go up on our toes. And then down, up. So we're trying to get this top part of the foot to go outward and down, up, and down. So we're building muscles in the feet, up, and of course the legs are working too. And down, we'll do 4 more. 1, and down, up, and down, up, and down. This is the last one. Up, and heel down. Nice. Okay, now we'll do our shoulders forwards again. So first, breathe in and lift. So you're making room in the spine and having your lower back straight. On the exhale, bring the right shoulder forward. So you have to twist a little bit to do it. And then feel the nice light groin stretch as you reach the shoulder towards the floor and outwards. And breathe. Then we'll come back up. Let's go right to the other one. Exhaling down forwards. And breathe. And then on the inhale, rise up. And bring the feet together. So walk the toes towards each other, then walk the heels, then walk the toes, then walk the heels. Nice. Okay, now we have our knees on in front, our hands are on our knees. Now we're going to go in circles like that. And we did something similar earlier. Now let's go back the other way. And then back to the center. Let's scoot back into our chair a little bit, kind of relax the lower part of the body and legs. We're going to work a little bit with our necks. So we're going to dip our chin down towards our chest so that the back of the neck gets a chance to stretch out. Then we're going to roll our right shoulder, our right ear toward our right shoulder. The shoulder stays where it is. We get another chance to stretch the neck to the side, then slowly roll the head back to the center. And then just to slowly roll the left ear toward the left shoulder. So if the shoulder rises up, just encourage it to sink back down again. And then slowly back down, chin to chest. And raise the head up. Very nice. Now we're going to go into some Virabhadrasana or warrior poses in the chair. So we're going to scoot onto our chair so that we're on our left thigh. Our right leg is back. If you want to, you can have your right knee straight down towards the floor. So that one's a little bit less demanding on the back, hip, and leg. Hold on to the chair with the left hand. If you can, reach the foot back. And let's take our right arm up in the air. And if you want to let go with your left hand, you can have both arms up. So now we're in our warrior one. And breathe. And our drishti or our gaze is forward or part way up or all the way up between the hands and beyond them. Then we're going to rise up enough to turn that back foot out and open up the right hip. And then if you're holding on, that's fine. And otherwise open the arms forward and back. And then see if you can bring your, or keep your upper body above the hips. Bring the shoulder blades together. So now we're in warrior two. Another Virabhadrasana pose. And make whatever adjustments you need to so that you can be comfortable. Our gaze is out beyond the left hand, if it's possible to turn that far with the head. Our arms are forward and back. Now we're going to take our right arm down to the leg and lift the left arm up, turn the palm back. Stretch that hand up toward the sky. And then slide the right hand down the leg a little so you can curve back nicely. Still reaching with the left hand. So a variation in our warrior series, which gives us a slight back curve or side curve. Then we're going to come back up into warrior two. Then we're going to tip down so our left elbow's on the knee and our right arm goes up. And now let's roll the right shoulder back so that our arm and our legs are in line. The only one that's not in line is our left hand. If you want to go even lower, you can straighten the left arm and reach down for your ankle. But that one's pretty challenging, so it's up to you if you want to try it. So our gaze is out at an angle or up. And then we're breathing our nice Ujjayi breaths. Fingers can be spread here. Reach with the head here. And then come back up. And breathe in warrior two. Kind of settle there. Draw the shoulder blades together again. And then we'll bring the arms down. Let's bring that back leg in if it's out. Come to the front and pad the feet. Nice. Now we'll just go ahead and do the other side. On our right thigh, left knee down, and then if you can, extend the leg just as much as you can do. Okay. And then the upper body is over the hips still. We can even try to press back with that left heel. And then holding on with the right hand, we can take our left arm up. If you don't want or need to hold on, go ahead and reach up with both hands. And then look either straight ahead, part way up, or all the way through the hands. And breathe. Listen to your breath and know that you're strong here, that you can focus here. And then we'll lift slightly so that we can turn that back foot out. If you have the knee down, you just open up the hip a bit to the side. So if the leg's way back there, the foot has to turn also. And then we're going to take our arms forward and back, draw the shoulder blades in, try to get that body over the hips because it likes to bend forward. On all of us, we have to really work it. And then draw the shoulder blades together. Another thing to check is the feet. If the ankles have rolled down towards the ground, make sure you roll them as much towards the outer edges of the feet as possible so that you can still have a nice strong arch. And our gaze is out beyond the hand or somewhere on the way to that if it's a little far from your neck. And one more breath here. Nice, calm Ujjayi breath in this strong and stable pose. And then we'll release the left arm down, the right one comes up. We turn our hand, our palm towards the back and reach, stretching the arm up, which also stretches this rib area on the right side. And then slide the left hand back a little so you create a beautiful and natural arch, still reaching with the hand. The right knee, you can feel whether it's still going straight ahead or not. So just notice what's happening and then do the best you can. Then we'll come back up to our warrior two. So settle into warrior two here, take another breath. Now we can even see whether our right knee is still going straight ahead. And we're going to lean forward from the hips. So tipping forwards, bring the right elbow down to the knee. Bring the left arm up, face the palm forwards, just like the toes are going forwards, the palm. Stretch the arm up. If you feel like you can straighten the arm and grab onto the calf or ankle, you can do that and then turn the head part way or all the way up towards the left hand and reach forward. So you're stretching the head as far from the hips as you can reach. Then we're going to slowly come back up into our warrior two. And then let the arms come down. Bring the legs back and pad the feet again. Get those legs active and that'll help them relax and the hips too. Nice. All right, let's take our arms out and up. Bring the hands to the heart center. So this is what I would call a seated mountain pose or a meditative pose. So our back is straight. So we've rocked our pelvic floor back and down. If you haven't, you can try it. So that helps straighten the low back, and then in the upper back, drawing the shoulder blades together is helpful. And the crown of the head lifts upwards. And now we can just relax and listen to our breath a few times. Set an intention for the class if you wish, and just breathe. One more breath here. Bring the arms down. Take a nice breath. And we're going to press ourselves up out of the chair, all the way up, slowly to standing. Take a breath in and step behind your chair. Reach up. Bring the arms down and hold the chair. We're going to take the legs out to the side and do some bends. So just go down as far as it's comfortable. The feet are about 45 degrees or maybe a little farther out. And then we just want our knees to go the same amount of opening as the feet to protect the knees. Just going down into a bend and coming back out of it. Down into the bend and coming back up. So we're working mostly the quads as we bend down and hopefully squeezing the inner leg muscles when we come up. And we'll do 2 more. You can quit if you're already spent. And the last one. And then walk the hands or feet back together. We'll do a little bit of side lift. Let's do about 6 or 8 on this side. And then back to the center and the other side. And back to the center. Now we're going to come to the front of the chair because we're going to do more of a forward bending type work. So first of all, we're going to just bend at the hips and bring the fingertips to the chair. Once we're there, you might even want to step back, I don't know. See if you can come a little farther, bend the knees to do it so that you can put the whole hand on the chair. With the knees still bent, see if you can bring the crown of the head down. So the key is to bend your knees as much as you need to so that you don't overstretch the ligaments that attach to the hip bones. So you just want to bend those knees as much as you need to. So this is a chair version of a forward fold. Then we're going to straighten the arms and have a flat back. We might tip up a little bit up to the shoulders, but that's all right. It's the main idea. Then we're going to hold on to the front of the chair seat and step back so we have a version of down dog. And then bring the forearms onto the chair. That way our head is far enough down from our hips that we have some gravitational draw on the upper body from the hips. And then send the hips back and lower the shoulders and let the head come down in front of the seat of the chair. So if you can tell, my head's hanging. My shoulders are allowing my chest to drop a little lower because they're nice and low. My heels are down, but they don't have to be. You can bend the knees and get the heels lower. You can straighten the knees and lift up at the heels if you need to. I like to keep the knees bent mostly. And reach with those hips. And then we're going to come back up. So walk forwards, grab onto the chair. Now bend the knees a lot. And come back up all the way. Take a breath in, reach the arms up. And then bring the arms down. And we're going to get a little hydration break. So take a drink. If you need to run off and do something else, that's okay, you can do that. And then we'll come back for leg swings. Okay. When you come back, We'll have the chair to the side so we can hold on to the back of the chair. All right, so the ones of you that I can see are back, so I'm going to assume that the break is over for most of us at least. And so we're going to stand on the leg that's closest to the chair and swing the opposite arm and leg. So from the side, it's like this. Just a nice light swing. You don't have to bring the foot up high or the arm far. It's just to loosen. And a couple more times. Then we're going to bring the arm and leg down. Take the left leg back. And we'll do warrior 3. So you can keep your toes on the ground. Tip forwards at the hip. And if you can bring that leg up, go ahead and bring the leg up and see if you can reach the arm forwards. And then come back up. So the right leg goes down, walk it out a little bit. And then we're going to do a reach across. So let's take our right leg and reach across, and our right arm reaches out. So we're squeezing through the inner leg, we're opening up the chest. And now take the leg out, the arm across. Now we're stretching the upper arm and shoulder. Open with the arm, leg across, and switch. Breathe in as we open the arm. Exhale, arm across. Inhale, open. Exhale, across. Inhale, open. Exhale, across. Back to the center, walk it out. And we'll do our tree from here. So, standing on the leg that's closest to the chair, I'm going to give you directions from standing on the left leg. Bring the foot towards the ankle. The toes can stay or return to the floor anytime you need to. So spread the toes of the foot. Make sure you have a good connection. The arch is up, the ankle's strong. Lift the toes of the right foot and move the knee towards the side, keeping the hip in line with the leg. Now we'll bring our right hand to the heart center. If you can, let go of the chair at any point and want to try, you can always reach back for it. So if you want to try, go ahead and bring the hand here to the other hand. All right, so now we're going to reach up through the spine and bring our hand or hands above the head. And then go ahead and try straightening the right arm or both arms. Reaching up and the end, just so you see what it looks like holding on to one hand, it would look like this. We still want to try straightening the right arm, but that's not essential. The main thing is that the spine is stretching upwards. And then we can take our arm or arms out to the sides and draw those shoulder blades in again, building strength in the upper back. The stronger the upper back, the less chance of it curving more or at all, if you happen to have a straight back, which I don't know how many people do. And then we'll take the arm up or the arms. Breathe. And then slowly bring the right arm down or both arms down to the heart center. Take a breath here. And then we'll exhale and come down and walk it out. All right, that is the series on this side of the chair. So after a little more walking it out, we're going to flip that chair to the other side and do those same exercises over here. All right, we'll begin with our swing. So, sorry, I'm a little ahead of some of you. Okay. See if you can listen to your breath even while you're doing this more active exercise. And then we'll bring the leg and arm back to the center. We'll go into warrior 3 again. So Virabhadrasana 3 is taking the left foot back. The toes are still on the floor. We tip forwards at the hips, and if the leg can rise, go ahead and let it. And then if we can, keep those hips level, reach the left arm forwards, and try not to block the knee. Just keep that nice little bend in it. Reach with the leg, reach with the hand. This is not an easy pose, so just do the best you can, and then come back up. So nice work for trying and doing as much as you did. Now we'll do our crossover, so left leg across, left arm out, and that's the inhale. Exhale, switch. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, switch. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, switch. Inhale. Exhale. And let's have that be it and walk it out. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, and so now we'll do our tree. So go ahead and get ready, standing on that foot. And so it'll be my right foot this time. And then get the arch up, the ankle strong, the other foot closed. Draw the abs in too. That really helps if you bring the abs in toward the spine. And then lift the foot off the floor, turn the knee outwards. You can always place the toes on the floor again. Bring the hand to the heart center. If you're already wanting to let go of the chair, then both hands are together. And now let's take the hands upwards and above the head, so they hover above the head. Then begin to straighten the elbows to whatever degree is right for you today. So you can choose. The main thing is that we're stretching up through the spine, reaching the top of the head upwards. The arms are extra. You can look at one point, and that might help you stabilize. If you look at something that's not moving, it might help to still the mind, which helps to still the body. Breathe. Nice, comfortable Ujjayi breathing, full breaths. And then we'll take our arms to the sides, let them float out there, draw the shoulder blades together. Let's have one more breath in the side arm position. And then keeping the abs nice and tight, let's then lift the arms back up. And breathe here a little bit. And then we'll bring the arm or arms down to the side, the solar plexus, or in front of the sternum. And then release and walk it out. Very nice. Breathe, listen to your breath even while you're walking it out. All right, so you can hold on to the chair while you do the twist if you need a little extra balance help, but otherwise just stand next to the chair and let's do the twist for a bit. Good loosening up. And then shift the weight from one foot to the other. More weight-bearing exercise. And then back to the center. Let's flip the chair around so that the seat is facing us. And we'll just do a couple of things that might seem mundane or very daily skills. But say you needed to tie a shoe and you needed to lift the foot rather than bend down to it. So we're going to lift our right foot up to the chair. Bend forward, touch the toes. Then come up and bring the right foot down. Left foot up on the chair. Lean forward from the hips and touch the toes. And come up. Switch, right foot on the chair. Bend forward, touch the toes. And come up. Switch, left foot. Bend forward, touch the toes. Then come up. Right foot. Bend forward, touch the toes. It's the last one. And the left foot, bend forward, touch the toes, and come up. Now we're going to come down on our knees. So let's have our hands on the chair again. Come down on both knees. And we're going to reach up, back, and then lean away from the chair. And then bring the arm back so we're upright with the body. And then reach the right arm up. Reach back and lean away from the chair. And then bring the arm up and around. So this is in preparation for full camels. We're just preparing today. Reach up, back, and stretch your arm back there by leaning from the knees. And then come back to the chair and take the right arm up, reach behind you and lean back. So you're trying to reach something that's back there. And then come up. Nice work. Let's walk the knees back. And we're going to do a lunge. So bring the right knee forwards. Holding onto the chair, we're just going to let our hips sink downwards. Into a nice lunge. The head is up above the body. The shoulders are above the hips. And we just let our hips sink down as far as it's comfortable. Take another breath. Well, let's take one more too. Just in case you need a little more time to really feel the nice stretch in the left top of the thigh. And we're going to take our hips slowly up and back. Keeping a bend in the right knee, let's stretch that leg. Draw the right toes back towards the chest and lean forwards just as much as you need to feel a stretch in the calf and feel a stretch in the hamstrings. If you're feeling an achy stretch up in the hip, then you need to bend the knees more. So you don't want to take any of those ligaments away from the bone. Okay, so a little bit deeper stretch. And let's bring the right leg back and bend the left knee out in front and start sinking into a nice left leg forward lunge. This is a nice low lunge as opposed to being up just on the feet. We get to be on the knee. So if you have trouble with your knees, make sure you put lots of padding underneath, or you might want to modify even more. And so we want our bodies still upright, our heads reaching up, our chest nice and open. And breathe a little bit longer here, giving the right hip area, the muscles in front, inside, the closer to your center line. Nice stretch. Then we'll tip the hips back, so reaching back with our sit bones, bending forwards from the hips, drawing the toes back toward the chest, and keeping as much bend as we need to in the leg. So you can feel a stretch in the calf. And if you straighten the leg just slightly more, you start to feel it in the hamstring. That's what we want. We don't want it to feel pulling at the hip bone. Nice hamstring stretch. And then we're going to bring our left foot back so we're on our knees. Walk the knees just a little closer to the chair. So they're still about 2 feet from the chair. We're going to take our hips down towards our heels. Usually I have you guys do push-ups, but today we're just going to sink down. You've worked very, very hard. So let's bring our chest towards our thighs, bring our hands onto the floor, and sink into a child's pose here. Bringing the forehead closer towards the floor until you're as far as you can comfortably go. Maybe even rest the forehead on the floor and breathe. The hips are making their way towards the heels so that the low back can stretch. Now listen to the breath and feel the breath. Now we're going to move our hands towards the right side. Just take them out around to the right, maybe 40, 45 degrees, more if it's comfortable, and sink into the stretch on the right side. So it's almost like you come out of child's a little bit and then go back into it. And breathe. And then let's walk the hands back to the center. And we'll take the hands over to the other side at your own pace. Settle in, maybe put the right hand on top of the left. You can try it. And then settle back down into the child's pose, but with the arms stretched out. So you're getting some arm stretch, shoulder stretch, rib stretch, and even from the hip. And then sink down. Breathe, listen, and feel the breath. Listen to the breath and feel the breath. And then let's walk the hands back to the center. And we're going to come back up onto all fours, reach the hands up to the chair and put your forearms on the chair again. Remember how we did that earlier? So walk the knees a little closer and we're going to do a version of cow cat. So if anyone had trouble with their hands or wrists, or if you ever do, this is a real nice version of cow cat. We're going to breathe in and reach the hips back and puff the chest up forwards towards the back of the chair. And then exhale and curve the back up, drawing the abs in toward the spine and the head comes down towards the chair. Breathe in, stretching the hips and the head away from each other, and there's a nice natural curve in the back, like a saddle. And then curve into a cat. Again, into cow. Nice big inhale. Curve into cat. Again, into cow. Again, into cat. Again, into cow. Again, into cat. And then relax. We have one more yoga pose to do. So we're going to have our right knee kind of in the middle of the mat. Take the foot out like a kickstand, have the forearm still on the chair. We're going to reach our left leg back and swoop the left arm up. So we have a flat plane through our body, leg, and arm. They're all in a line. The arm is up above the head. The forearms comfortably, hopefully comfortably on the chair. Now we're going to stretch our left foot away and reach the left hand with the arm over the ear. Reach that hand forwards. So you're at an angle. It's not exactly straight towards the back of the chair, but it's up a little and reaching forwards. So the foot and the arm are helping us stretch through the spine, sort of like traction work. We're using our leg and arm to stretch the spine from the base all the way through, maybe even the neck if you reach with the head too. And then bring the arm back up and around, turn towards the chair, bring the leg in. Very nicely done for those of you who I can see. So now we're going to take our left foot out. I'm sure all the rest of you are awesome too. Let's reach our right leg back because the left one is the one that's a kickstand. Now we're going to swoop the right arm up. So it's above the shoulder. Reach with the leg. Stretch the hand upwards, spreading the fingers. So that's one version. And then we're going to take the right hand towards the front, towards the back of the chair. And bring the arm over the ear as you do this. Now stretch that hand and foot and even reach with the head as much as you can. It's mostly the arm and foot that are doing the spinal elongation. And then we're going to bring the arm up, swoop it around as we bring the leg into and face the chair. Okay, very nice. So now what's next is we're going to be lying down. And we're actually winding down towards our Shavasana. So we're going to lie down, do just a little bit of arms above the head and some angel wings. And then we'll be doing Shavasana with our legs on the chair. So we get enough inversion work where our legs are above the heart. So come down on one hip. Swoop the legs up onto the chair. And if it isn't comfortable with your calves on the chair, you can scoot back and just have the feet. Or you can have your legs propped up on the back of the chair and have them really high. I like, and at this stage of this class, to have my calves resting on the chair. The spine comes down. We take our arms up and over on a big inhale. And on the exhale, bring the arms back up and then down to the sides of the body. One more time, arms up and over. The chest puffs out. We really bring air into the chest and the belly. And then exhale, arms back. And the back kind of sinks into the floor. Now let's do 2 angel wings, arms to the sides and then above the head. Exhale, arms to the sides and then to the hips. So you can have the arms hover or slide. Arms to the sides and then above the head. And then on the exhale, out to the sides and next to the body again. Let's do one more full body stretch and then we'll start relaxing into our Shavasana. Arms up and over. Big, big inhale, almost like a yawn. Exhale, bring the arms back to the sides. Let the hands go palm up and draw the shoulder blades together. Let the shoulders sink down, down into the floor. Close the eyes. And kind of take stock of how you feel. How do your legs feel on the chair? If your knees want to collapse outwards a little, that's okay. And then your facial muscles, you want to relax the cheeks, mouth, the eyes, the jaw, the eyebrows, the forehead, and also the top of the head, the temple, around the back of the head. And then encourage yourself to allow all notice of all the things about your body just to float away from you. And everything else in the environment that's also interesting, let's let them go too. Let's clear the mind of everything that we can and enjoy a beautiful Shavasana. It's only for about 6 or 7 minutes, so let's do the best we can. Enjoy the stillness of Shavasana. Time to start wiggling your toes and your fingers and bringing your awareness back. You may stay lying down. That's perfectly all right. If you want to come up to a comfortable seated position, that's fine if that's something that you can do with ease. And if not, you can always come back up into the chair, taking your time, of course, so that your blood pressure can adjust. So I decided to sit cross-legged, but with my knees stacked. So I like to point out just a couple different options for you each time. With my feet out to the side. You can sit with one foot in front and the other one closer to you. You can sit like a schoolyard cross-legged. You can practice towards lotus by having one foot by the hip up on top. So all those are good, whatever you like. Let's take a breath in and reach up. And then bring the hands to the heart center. Before we do our ohms, we're going to press the fingers towards each other and just give them a little stretch. And then let's bend one hand toward the wrist. And if you stretch the arm out, it'll even stretch a little higher in the hand. And then the other side, bend the hand back. And if you can, straighten the arm. Just a nice stretch. And we'll take our arms up again and stretch the spine. Exhale, bring the arms to the heart center. We'll do 3 ohms, so let's take a breath in. Om Shanti, 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 which means peace, peace, peace. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. So namaste is, I honor you, I honor the divine in you, I honor the goodness in you, the light in you. So namaste. Good job. If anyone wants to unmute, you're welcome to.
Namaste, Nicole.
Namaste. Thank you, Michelle, for coming.
Namaste. Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome. Namaste, May. Thank you for coming.
Namaste. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everyone.
Namaste, Karen. Yes, thank you all for being here. It takes us all to make a class. And Valerie, thank you and namaste. All right. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.